Hello and welcome to another episode of Alex's Afternoon Art Show. Today we're doing Cyclops. We're continuing that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 mural. This is the fourth one of 50 something. So yeah, we're going to be at this for a while still. But yeah, we'll get to do this design today. I don't know, I don't got a joke for this. Let's just get this over with. Okay, so as you can see, I've done a lot more of those base sketches than last time. Well, a few more than last time, not like a lot more. There was a big gap in between what was Wolverine and then whenever we got to Jill. But yeah, I've gotten, these are all of the base roster characters. So this is all, I think, 24 base characters. I think 24, yeah. 24 base characters. And so yeah, today we're doing Cyclops. So I'll just incrementally turn everything else off, because we don't need anything else on. And I don't want to spoil too much. So yeah, don't want to spoil too much of what's there. I mean, you can probably read, so you kind of know what's coming. But yeah, yeah. So Cyclops. Cyclops so far is the tallest character, which is kind of funny. He's the only one who isn't in like too much of a crouching pose. He's kind of got his legs bent a little bit, but not like a crouching pose, obviously. I'm just realizing I forgot to open up my reference image, which would be wise to have open, which is just the Bengus art of Cyclops. And yeah, this is the thing, I may as well talk about this now. I've always appreciated this Cyclops design, just because yeah, like this is the thing, I never loved Cyclops much as a character, but his design has always been great. Like it is a very iconic design for a reason. And it is just very deeply unsatisfying that they've never used this in any films. Like this is Cyclops' design. Like they've often, I've got the reference image open now, so I don't need to really ramble on about that. But yeah, like this is Cyclops' design. They've kind of iterated in a lot of ways on other stuff, but realistically, this is Cyclops. You don't really need anything else. Like, it's odd to me that they've gone for all the basically everything but this, which is odd because yeah, again, this is what Cyclops looks like. This is a very iconic design, and there's a good reason for that. It's a good design, and yeah, this is what he looked like in the 90s, so naturally that's what he looked like in this game. I think basically everyone universally prefers this design to him having just the complete head cover on his mask. I think everyone prefers this. Everyone likes the hair out, it looks better. It's just more interesting looking. And the bandolier and everything, that's very, that looks cool and everything. But yeah, like I mean, there's versions of Cyclops' design which have like the coat and like trench coats, jackets, all this stuff on top, and it's like you don't need to overcomplicate it. I think this is kind of the perfect Cyclops design. Don't think there's much further you need to go than this. There's ways you can improve, obviously. It's a design. At the end of the day, you can improve every design. But yeah, like still, like it's a great design. Anyways, I'll stop rambling and get on with actually drawing it. Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people will do whenever drawing Cyclops, this is something which I always enjoy actually. Who's the one right behind him? Captain America. Okay, I don't have to worry about this too much. But yeah, something which I always enjoy is a lot of people when they draw Cyclops, whenever they draw his visor, is that they'll have like a little dribble coming out, like the way that the energy kind of comes out of his visor. They'll kind of draw it as like a spool coming out. I kind of enjoy that. You see that a lot in Jim Lee's art of Cyclops, if I remember correctly. And you see it a lot in Bendis's art of Cyclops, naturally. But you also always see like the kind of the flash that is into that. I kind of like the dribble a little bit more. But yeah, trying to work with this is kind of difficult because my baselines here were very messy on this one in particular, it seems. That really doesn't look great. Hold on. How about this? How about this? This might not work. Might be far more effort than it's worth to try and make this work. Something like that might work. Gonna have more of a cable look to it, but I suppose that's appropriate in a way. Given the relation. Maybe not this top one. What was that one? Alright, how do we feel about that? See, now the other question is, would it just look better without that? I think it might. I think it might just look better without that, just to be simpler. Just for the sake of simplicity. Oops. I'm not too worried about showing off my reference images too much. Because yeah, I mean, I've taken bits and pieces, like this one, I've taken the hands and just the kind of shape of the upper body for the model. But yeah, a lot of the rest of it, like everything below the chest, I want to say, is all new. That's all me. And yeah, I mean, we'll get to ones which are entirely me whenever we get to the kind of the cartoon characters. Most of those were just a series of circles, because largely that's how you draw cartoon characters, bizarrely enough. Speck on his forehead which just isn't going away. It's barely noticeable, but it is there. It's annoying me a little bit. But yeah. I suppose I might mention his smile, because I always draw superheroes with smiles, basically. I like when heroes smile. They're heroes. Generally speaking, I prefer when heroes smile. That might be some real old-fashioned boomer brain stuff in there, but I like when heroes smile. It's fine when heroes aren't always smiling, but I like whenever heroes are a little bit more ideal. Again, I'm fine with heroes who aren't like just representatives of ideals. I mean, Wolverine happens to be my favourite superhero, and he basically never smiles. But yeah, and I mean, part of the bloody thing with Batman is that Batman almost never smiles. But Batman should smile at some times. Ant-Man should sometimes smile. Because it makes him seem a bit more well-rounded whenever he smiles a little bit every now and then. Rather than him just being a one-note, one-expression character. You know? Anyways. Okay, there we have it. We've got his details done. Yeah, though I did kind of talk a lot about what I liked about the design and all this stuff. It's great design. It's just a really solid design. Very good, very simple. It's a nice iteration on Cyclops' kind of classic design, which is very plain. The kind of the full blue mask and everything, very plain, very little yellow. This design has much more color balance. We'll get to that in a while, I guess, though, whenever we're actually coloring it. But yeah, I suppose I'll take my obligatory 5 to 1 hour long break. 5 minute to 1 hour long break, that is. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, so now the next thing we're doing is the dots. Yep, there was something I intended on saying, as is custom, and I forgot to do it. Forgotten what it was now. God, I hate when that happens. I really hate when that happens. 'Cause it's happening very frequently these days now, whenever I have a topic or something I want to bring up. And it's just leading to these videos having very little of me speaking in them, because I don't remember what I'm going to say, and then I spend the rest of the video trying to remember what I was going to say. And it just doesn't happen. And I'm just left with no thoughts. Realistically at all. Jesus Christ, I can't remember what it was at all. I'll try to remember as I'm going here. I really can't remember at all. Which direction is the light coming from again? Okay, I need to shade more heavily on the right. Yeah. See, I suppose Cyclops is a character that I've always kind of... I don't think anyone really loves Cyclops. I don't think any of the writers have ever really tried all that hard to make you like Cyclops. Because he's often always playing second fiddle to Wolverine in stories, so they don't really care enough to try and make you care about him. Just give him anything to do. Like, there's a few episodes in the animated series where he's got stuff to do. And it's funny because basically after the first animated series, after the 90s animated series, every subsequent series' mission was basically to try and make people like Cyclops. Because X-Men Evolution, they made everyone younger, so that was their kind of gambit there, was to try and make everyone younger, so that you care a little bit more about everyone, just in general. You'd be able to do a little bit more with them, so to speak. And so yeah, Cyclops obviously is younger, so he's a little bit more kind of less certain all the time and all this, so yeah. And then Wolverine and the X-Men, they made Cyclops, the kind of the Wolverine type character there, where he's kind of going off on his own and he has this whole revenge mission he wants to do. And it's all this stuff of where it's like, oh yeah, we gotta make Cyclops more interesting, just make him Wolverine. And yeah, that's often kind of the route they take, and it doesn't really work. Like in Wolverine and the X-Men, Cyclops is cool, but that's also partly because he's played very well, and he's written well as well. His character never feels inconsistent because Cyclops in the comics is written in such a way of where he's got anger problems. But yeah, so that feels very consistent in the show. But yeah, it's kind of funny how no one really tries, it seems, to make Cyclops all that interesting. Because there is something there, and he's got a great design, like. You'd think someone would try and make the character likable to go along with the design. This is the thing, that's often step one, is, oh, the design. People like the design, they're more inclined to like the character. I mean, look at Gambit. People like the design, so they're more inclined to like the character, but then they also made the character very charming. So this is the thing, he's a much more likable character by default there. Whereas Cyclops is a good design, but there's not much going on. They never really give him much to do. So, no one really likes Cyclops all that much, even though he's got a good design. But yeah, it's just kind of funny, I guess, the way that they deal with it. With that kind of problem, I guess, which is by not dealing with it. Anyways. Okay. So, we've done Cyclops' dots. Now we gotta go into the colours. Yeah, so the dots don't really take that long these days, really, to be honest. It's fairly easy and fairly quick. Particularly because we're not kind of giving it too much. We're kind of going a little bit more back to basics with it, because we did develop a habit before of getting maybe a little too over the top with it. Because a lot of the stuff we were doing with the dots before was like, it was taking a long time, it was very detailed, it was maybe just a little unnecessary, just a little. In my own time I still kind of give a lot of any of the times I do the dots anyways, I kind of give it a little bit more of the detail, but still, with this, no need, it's going to be very small anyways. Like, I mean, let me zoom out and show you how small Cyclops is in the sheet, like, and the sheet is only going to get bigger, because I've had to expand it already and I've nearly filled out the sheet again. But yeah, just in kind of what we've got already, we're gonna need to expand it more. So yeah, first things first, probably gonna need to change that color in the background, because that's probably gonna end up being a little too close to what we want. I know. No, Cyclops is going to have a very deep blue, so that shouldn't be too bad. Because yeah, as I said before, we're going for very kind of strong, bright colours, because we want these colours to really stick out. And the red, I'm not going to apply any shading to. Any of the red stuff, I'm not going to apply any shading to. I'm going to want that to stand out as much as is supposed to. So yeah, no real shading on that. Now what do we want from his skin tone? We don't want it to be too pale. I want it to have a bit of tanning to him. That's maybe okay. Let's see what it looks like actually on him. My brush is bigger. Now, Okay, there's our colours done. I've kind of gotten everything to the point that I wanted to there, and yeah, as you can see, got her very, very bright colours, because again, this is superheroes, and also I want all these colours to be very vibrant, because whenever the gradient map eventually goes on at the very, very end, I don't want to have to go back in and start fiddling with everything. Because yeah, I mean, so how does this match up to Wolverine? Which is about right. He's a little brighter, which I suppose logically makes sense. Cyclops is a brighter character than Wolverine is, so it makes sense that his colours would be a bit brighter. Now, let's grab our light and dark colours for our shading, and then what colour? Yeah, it's on the right is the darks. And then yeah, we'll get this thing done. But yeah, that's, I suppose, yeah, well, I'll get to my closing thoughts whenever I finish this. Okay, we're nearly finished. Just the light line and then Cyclops is done. Oh god, my spine. Oh, my back gets very tired doing these. From yeah, just being bent down the whole time. Or yeah, just leaning over the graphic tablet. And I can't really draw like this. It's not very comfortable to do that. But yeah, my back does get very tired from doing this, so I just need to take a minute every now and then just to have my back straight so it's not as agonizing. But yeah, yeah, I suppose like a lot of the kind of things I wanted to say I've already said at this point. Realistically it is just kind of doing the light line and that's it really at this stage. We've already gone through most of the stuff that I wanted to cover. Don't remember what that thing I wanted to mention earlier on was. I likely won't. Ever. It will maybe come to me in a quiet moment tonight, but generally I'm not going to remember what it actually was that I wanted to say. Probably just something about Cyclops' design somewhere in this. Or really could have been anything. I have honestly got no idea what the hell I was intending on saying. Okay, there's our Cyclops. There he's done now. So, there we have it. There's Cyclops. We got Wolverine as well. We've got Ryu. We've got Jill. We got 4 characters done now. I don't need the color on anymore. Yeah, we got 4 full characters done. And yeah, we're tipping away. We're making progress. Yeah, as is usual, I don't think I'll kind of linger too long with my closing thoughts because there's no real need to yet. Because yeah, I'll just be kind of not covering everything here. Because naturally we've still got other stuff to do. We've still got to do however many more characters. We've only done 4 of them, which is the equivalent to what, like 1 full row of characters, and the 6 rows in the base roster. So that's still got a fair few of them left to do, a fair whack of them left. But yeah, our next characters will be a couple of different colours, because so far what we've got, white, yellow, blue and blue, realistically as our kind of primaries thus far. Because next will be Guile. He's the next on our list. And Guile is going to be green with his colour. And that'll be Captain America, so we'll be back to blue again. but it'll be a different shade of blue. It'll be very kind of a paler blue because that's what he looks like in the game. It's not very deep blue. But yeah. Yeah, I suppose I'll sign off here, I guess. So if you like the video, do what you normally do, no pressure. Subscribe if you want. Do as you would normally, I guess. It's always the third one. It's always the third thing I forget. Oh yes, and if you decide to watch the next one, I'll see you next time. That's what it is. That's the triple barrel ending. I need to write it down or something, because God, this is bad. I can't be forgetting my own intro every time. Every single video. Anyways, yeah, that's it. So, bye-bye.